All right, man, so your story is that you didn't grow up with a dad. You never had a consistent male role model in your life. You might be thinking to yourself, when it comes to being a man, where do I even start? What direction am I supposed to go in? I don't even know anything that I'm good at. Listen, bro, that was my story 100%. I didn't grow up with my dad, but I got past it, and I want to give you some tips on how you can too, man. Let's talk about it. First, let me say this, man. Take this painful experience and use it as fuel to better yourself and not to destroy yourself. The reason I'm making this video is because someone asked me this in the comments. They said, how do you transition into manhood or adulthood when you were never taught how? I said, good question. Listen, man, the answer is this, bro. You become an adult when you start taking accountability for your life. You become an adult when you stop blaming your father for not being there and you stop blaming your mother for not being perfect. Now, doing all this is not easy, bro. In fact, it can be painful, but it's part of the process and it's worth it. Because the price that you pay for not holding yourself accountable is that you never actually grow up. Because you'll be spending your whole life blaming others for your shortcomings. Remember this, man. It's okay for it to be a painful process, bro. Pain is your teacher. Some of the most beautiful things in life come from a very painful and excruciating process. Remember that. Next piece of advice I have for you, man, is spend more time with yourself to really learn who you are. Because part of the reason that it hurts so bad of not having your dad around is because you put a lot of your self-worth into the fact that he's not there. It's almost like you blame yourself. Like not having your dad around almost becomes like part of your identity. And it gets awkward when people ask about your father because of the energy that you push out when it gets brought up. I've been there before. So here's the way that you can combat that. You need to figure out who you are as a man. What makes you happy? What are some things that you like doing? What are some ways that you would like to run your family one day? Check this out, man. The only way that you answer those questions is by spending more time with yourself. You don't always need the hustle and bustle of friends and family around all the time, man. Sometimes you gotta be alone and be alone with your thoughts and be present in your thoughts. Just be alone, that's okay. This is how you separate the pain of not having your dad around. You separate yourself from that pain because you now are your own mentor. Spend more time with yourself. Talk to yourself. Be alone in your thoughts. You start healing yourself from within because you become your own mentor. You become the person that you can admire and look up and respect that you never had growing up. You become that person yourself, but you only become that by spending more time with yourself to learn who you really are. Does that make sense? Next piece of advice, find mentors in other areas, coaches, uncles, your friends' dads, etc. It doesn't have to be your own dad. I get not having your dad is painful and it hurts, it sucks, but don't let that stop you from connecting with other men to get different positive qualities from them and then attributing that to your own life. And on that note, you can also find a mentor that you've never met before on YouTube. You can just watch their content and they could freaking change your life. Subscribe if you haven't already. Next piece of advice, man, learn how to become more emotionally intelligent. EQ. Cut that out. Listen, man, I can't stress this enough how important it is to be emotionally intelligent as a man, because men and women are both emotional beings. Human beings in general are emotional, but a man being emotional is a lot different from a woman. When a woman gets emotional, oftentimes she'll break down and cry and she wants to kind of go inward. Men, when we get emotional, we go outward. We have rage, we want to break things, and it's a very different kind of emotion. It's still emotion, but it's a lot different from a man than a woman when it comes to being emotional. So you need to become more emotionally intelligent so you're not going around just knocking people out, you know what I'm saying? Just like short, what does they call it? A short fuse, short-tempered, because you didn't learn how to become more emotionally intelligent and control your damn emotions. You need to learn how to stop flying off the handles every situation, and you need to stop feeling like everybody's disrespecting you, everybody's out to get you. That's called a man-child, bro. So listen, man, the fastest way that you can throw away your life as a man is not being emotionally intelligent, not being able to read certain situations and be stoic in certain situations. There are times where you need to use rage as emotion to call upon, right, in a certain situation. But for the most part, everyday life, you should be more stoic, be a little bit more even-tempered, and rational. That's what being, emotionally intelligent means, being stoic, if you will. Next thing. Next piece of advice for you, bro. Here's a word that I need you to get really comfortable with. It's called obsession. You need to become obsessed. Lheighton, but obsessed with what, though? Any man that's been great at anything has been obsessed with his craft. Any man worth remembering, any legend has been obsessed with his craft. He didn't get to legendary status without being obsessed with his craft first. That's a fact. Mike Tyson, obsessed. Michael Jordan, obsessed. Kobe Bryant, obsessed. Tom Brady, obsessed. It's not enough to try. You have to be obsessed with making your goals happen. And this is kind of like a little message from my younger brother, right? He was telling me the other day that he wants to start a business. He wants to start a reselling business. He says, I want to try to start this business. I said, hold up. You don't try to start any business, bro. You go all in, bro. The margin for error when it comes to running a new business, and especially if you have no entrepreneurial experience, very high. It's tough to start a business, bro, because you got to be consistent. You got to have discipline. You got to have work ethic. You got to grind. And even when things are going good, you can't slow down. You got to just keep going. Like, it's a lot of skills skills that maybe you haven't built yet. There's a lot of muscles that you haven't developed yet that you're gonna need to call upon when it comes to being a new entrepreneur. So I told him all of that, and I said, bro, I need you to take that verbiage, that word try, out of your vocabulary 100%. You're gonna either make it work, you're gonna do it, or you're not. I said, listen, man, as a man, you have to make things happen, bro. The world is not just gonna move out of your way and let it happen for you. You're gonna have to get up and take success. Success is not built off of success. Success is built off of failure. So get used to failing and falling on your face over and over and over and over again. And if you're okay with that, if you're okay with freaking not making any money for months on end, if you're okay with friends and family not supporting you sometimes and not reposting your stuff, if you're okay with that, then okay, cool. Maybe entrepreneurship is for you. But as a man, that message is important in general because you need to be okay with being obsessed with something and understanding that others around you are not obsessed like you are. This gift, this source this message you received from God was for you and you only. Ain't nobody else see that vision, bro. So listen, man, you gotta be obsessed and you got to see the vision of you being a legend in your own right, you starting that business, you starting that family, whatever it is that you're trying to do, you starting that YouTube channel, that successful YouTube page, you have that vision and you have to be obsessed with making it work, not the other way around. Nobody else is going to help you do it. There you go. Last piece of advice for you, man. If you didn't grow up with your dad, you need to put yourself around other men so you can heal your relationship with masculinity. Because check this out. You've been around women for so long that you don't know how to act around other men. Because unfortunately for you, you've been forcibly removed from your God-given gift, masculinity. So you don't know how to act around when you're around other dudes. Now, I have a nephew, right? And he only has sisters. I feel for him because he has his dad in his life. His dad's very active in his life, but I feel like his dad doesn't have that influence, that masculine influence over him. For whatever reason. Maybe just his dad himself is just not that masculine of a guy. I hate to say it, but it is what it is. You might be watching this video even if you have your dad in your life. He's in your life, but he's not like there like that. Or maybe he's not the example that you wish he was. Maybe he has his own problems going on, which we all do. But maybe his problems are a little bit heavier than some others. And you don't really have that bond from him. You don't look up to him in that way. So I feel for you if you're watching this video and you have your dad in your life and you still don't feel like you have a good example. That's unfortunate, man. And I feel like that's my nephew, right? And so listen, you need to put yourself around other dudes, other men, so you can heal your relationship with masculinity. That's why you get awkward when you're around other men, because you don't know how to act around other men. You've been around women your whole life. Your mom raised you. You had a bunch of sisters. Your aunties raised you. Your grandma raised you, whatever. And those are beautiful people that freaking helped you get to where you are today to be able to watch this video and learn how to become better up to this point, right? But you are not your mom. You are not your sisters. You are not your grandma. You are a different species altogether. You are a man. So you need to put yourself around other men so you can learn how to be around men. You need to learn how to be a man. You need to emulate some of the things that they do. You need to take different good qualities, positive qualities from them and attribute it to your own lives, like I said earlier. But you only do that when you get around other men. Listen, for all the people that talk crap about the Alpha Male Boot Camp, first of all, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen my video about the Alpha Male Boot Camp and what I do for it and what my association with the Alpha Male Boot Camp is, aka the project, because it's called the project. It's not no damn Alpha Male Boot Camp. Anyways, click that video. I'm gonna put it somewhere around here. But just being here during the classes, I learned a lot about becoming a man. A lot, bro. Just from seeing these other men, the instructors mainly, obviously not the candidates because they're going through their own thing. They're just trying to survive the 75 hours. But watching the instructors, how they articulate themselves, how they lead, how they guide these other dudes, how they instruction, how they're very, and a lot of these dudes are prior military. So I got to learn from people who are former Navy SEALs, Marines, Air Force, SEER specialists, like some awesome people that have done some great things in life. But you only learn from men from being around them. So put yourselves in these situations. It's gonna help you, I promise. All right, man, so if you watch this video all the way through, let me just say that I appreciate you, man. I know that it hasn't been easy all the way up to this point, which is why you clicked this video in the first place to kind of see what I had to say about it. I care about you, man. I hope that these tips helped you genuinely, I really hope they did. And that this kind of is a turning point for things being better for you. That you can find that mentor, whether it's online, whether it's, a coach, like I said, an uncle, one of your friends' dads, whoever. I really hope that you find those mentors, that you are serious about dedicating yourself and being disciplined about becoming the 2.0 version of yourself. And let me know in the comments, bro, what's your goals? I want to know what your goals are because that can help me kind of make videos about that kind of stuff in the future. So I love y'all, man. Thanks for watching. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. I'll see you in the next video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Peace.